Hey gang, welcome back. Every couple of months we like to do a market update video just to kind of bring you up to speed on what's going on in the real estate market, and we've got a doozy for you today. A couple of housekeeping items. Number one, I'm an eternal optimist. I always think things are about to get better, and that's just something that you have to know about me. And two, subscribe to the channel. It's good for your health. So over the course of the last 3 months, and July of 2022 is kind of the official anniversary. We'll get to that in a bit. Shit has been weird. We have seen a slowing in the market, and we have certainly seen fewer and fewer transactions. In fact, nationally, we are down 33% in the number of home sales since the height of the 2021 real estate market. That is a huge number. And in each of these past 3 years, home sales numbers have gotten worse. I saw that Political has a headline out right now saying that home sales fall to the lowest levels since the financial crisis. Since the financial crisis? Like 2008, 2010? Seriously, it's tough out there. Now, the why is pretty well understood right now. It's those darn interest rates. Interest rates are too high. Interest rates. And yet, over the past 3 years, we haven't really seen prices fall. They've remained fairly steady, fairly consistent. And in fact, in lots of markets across the country, we've actually seen prices continue to rise. And this is because the low amount of inventory has still historically been equal to the low amount of buyers. But over time, we are seeing two important things play out. A larger than normal percentage of buyers over the past 3 years have had a larger than usual amount of cash to put down. Sometimes, and in many cases, all cash. We've had more all cash transactions in the last 3 years, probably than we had the 6 years before that. And honestly, if you think about it, that makes a lot of sense because people with a lot of cash are the only ones that want to deal with these interest rates. And by deal with them, I'm meaning they don't really have to deal with them because they've got cash. Or they've got so much cash down that they're only taking out a small mortgage. But now, and I might be wrong, it seems like that number of heavy cash buyer, heavy cash equity coming into a transaction is starting to get smaller and smaller. As if all of the people that wanted to buy a home and had a lot of cash over the past year have already done it. And now they're running out too. There's just not as many people willing to transact in real estate because they've already done it. They saw the opportunity and they jumped. Now, again, maybe I'm wrong, but there's gotta be some sort of a correlation there. So now what we are left with are buyers who have a smaller amount of down payment and who do need to desperately get in with a mortgage. And they're just not feeling that. And then secondly, of course, we have actually finally seen a massive uptick in inventory, AKA more homes are coming up for sale. And that also kind of makes sense as well because, sometimes people just have to sell because of life. You've got divorces, you've got deaths, you've got job transfers, retirements, you've got new budding relationships. And your living situation changes. Yeah, we know nobody wants to give up their 3% interest rate from 2021, but also life happens and these life events have been compiling over the past 3 years. So as of this spring, we have been hammered with inventory that has far outpaced the number of buyers who are willing to play ball. Because meanwhile, those buyers are sitting around who need financing are still kind of sitting there going, no, I'm not buying a house at 7.8%. And let me show you why. We have some new analytics here that are really cool to look at. Now consider this, when conditions are the same and just the home prices have gone up, if a home jumps in value 20% in just like a year from the year before that you were gonna buy it, your mortgage payment is basically gonna go up 20% too, which sucked if you were buying, but it was pretty cool if you actually already own the real estate and you're holding it, right? But then, when interest rates, if you can see in this chart here, when interest rates, this is when they were at the bottom down here. When they shot up through the roof, and this is the actual gap right here between the mortgage payment, the interest rates getting cheaper and prices going up. These are the actual mortgage payment estimates. This is average for Bend. Back then, right through here, we're in that $2,000 range. And then when prices started going up, we started seeing the price of the mortgage obviously go up as well. This is what I'm talking about, the 20% increase went up. Now we're at, $2,500, $2,700. But then when these actual interest rates started skyrocketing, look at how fast these mortgage payments started going up. Now we're sitting here at $5,000 a month, $5,300 a month, $5,050. $4,781. These mortgage payments have doubled. They've doubled. That's a 100% increase. That's unaffordable. Time out for a real quick message from our sponsor. Not really, we don't really have sponsors. My name is John, I'm with the Kromm Real Estate team, and we are here to help you with all of your local real estate needs. Feel free to reach out to us at krommrealestate.com and let's connect so that we can help you bring your real estate dreams, whether they're buying or selling, to life. So here we are, and this is a local market update for Bend. And so we are halfway through the year now, and we're pretty much right on par with everything that we've talked about nationally. It is a sluggish market. It is downright slow. Inventory is increasing, and we have gone from 2 months of inventory last April, a year ago April, to 5 months of inventory this May. That is the highest months of inventory that we have seen since the financial crash. Now, I haven't looked specifically, but I'd probably say since 2011, maybe 2012. So, when are we gonna finally start seeing prices falling? Well, it could be any day now. And they kind of have gotten softer, for sure. In fact, we are seeing tons and tons of price reductions in a time of year, like right now, in a time of year where seasonally, things are usually popping, except they aren't. Generally speaking, 6 months of inventory is considered a balanced market, historically, meaning prices should basically just hold steady. However, that was the conventional wisdom from back in the early 1990s through early 2000s. In today's more modern real estate market, say post-financial crisis, 4 months of inventory has seemed or felt balanced. And now that we're 5 months of inventory, maybe 5.5, we're gonna start seeing these price reductions finally adding up. But wait, I already said I'm an eternal optimist. And so far, this whole video seems to have been about the market sucking. Last week I was in Washington, D.C. I was advocating for you, actually, homeowners and people who want to be homeowners. As a member of the National Association of Realtors and somebody who's in a bit of a small, very small, but leadership position, I was invited to go and help kind of lobby and advocate for private property rights in Washington, D.C. It was a really cool experience, and if you want to know more about it, we actually recorded our live stream, our podcast that we did last week. We talked about it for probably, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 minutes. It's pretty interesting. You can probably catch it, the tag right up there if you wanted to jump over and watch that. So while I was there, I got to sit and listen to one of the nation's overall top economists, Lawrence Yun. Now, he also happens to be the National Association of Realtors lead economist. And what he said was really quite interesting. First of all, I've heard him talk many times before. He's brilliant. He has a way of kind of tying everything together, not just interest rates and home prices, but everything from, oil costs to all the way down to like the price of eggs. All right, I'm kidding, but only half kidding. And the main takeaway that I got was that all the economic factors indicate that the economy is looking strong and the bond market should be coming down and the Fed should be cutting rates. And therefore, interest rates should be coming down. I read an article today that actually echoed this sentiment, and the headline was that Fed Chair Powell is out of excuses and they need to cut the Fed rate. When this happens, it will begin to turn the tide of these mortgage rates. They probably won't come down very fast, probably, but they should begin a downward trajectory, which will be huge for getting some of these buyers off the fence. So right now, in my mind, when these rates begin to turn the other direction, this will usher in a load of backed up, pent up buyer demand. We've been waiting on this for 3 years. There's a house that I know out there right now, it's on the market, that is easily $100,000 underpriced, and it still isn't moving. I'm more than half tempted to buy it myself. My point is that if ever there was a moment or a window where a buyer probably had the most inventory to choose from and the most opportunity to negotiate the price down in a falling or soft market, right now is it. We don't know what the future is going to bring with the market or rates. Wars aren't good. Uncertainty isn't good, but the outlook is for declining rates, whether that's in the next couple of months, quarters, or years. Right now is an opportune time to make your move into the Bend market. We had a client call the other day and tell us that they found the perfect house for them after shopping for months, but questioned, is it a good time? should we wait? I told them there's no better time than the present. And if you found the perfect house, consider it a gift. You're never gonna time the market exactly right. But this has to be the saddle. The point where prices are either at their lowest or maybe a little bit left to fall. And then when rates calm down, we'll see demand return and prices on the rise. If you're a buyer out there right now and you're wondering if the time is now, it is. Give us a call or drop us an email or just go to krommrealestate.com and start looking around and we'll reach out to you. Thanks for watching. And hey, do me a favor, send this to your friends who are considering buying or selling as well, so they can be armed with this information as well. I'd be grateful. Thanks again, and we'll see you over in the next video.